All right, we are here with the Pike Progression. I'm using this slant board, right? But you could use a bumper plate and just put your foot up on the bumper plate, right? If you really were desperate, we could kind of use the wall. It just kind of gets in your way a little bit. But anything that you can put your foot up on, I just like this because it's a nice solid base. Another thing I do use a lot also is a Bosu ball. So the half ball, so I put that on the ground, step on the ball side, right, and it kind of acts as the same thing as this. It's just a little unstable, which is no big deal, right, because then it makes me be more stable. With this Pike Progression, so a pike, right, I'm sure you've seen people do this when they go hands down to the floor and then boom, kick their legs up, or not even kick, but just like levitate their legs up into a handstand, right? It's called a pike. I can't do it yet, right? But we're working there, right? So this is a low-level progression. We're gonna put our foot up on to whatever it is, right? Slant board, Bosu ball, bumper plate, and we're gonna try and lock our leg out a little bit, right? So it's kind of like what I always say not to do, right? When I'm lifting, I never want to lock my legs out. I want a nice slight bend in the knee. But for this one, I kind of want to lock my leg out a little bit, right? Now from here, I'm pushing my hips back. You're going to feel a nice big stretch in the hamstring, especially behind the knee, especially when it's locked out, right? I'm just going to slowly think about using my leg as a track, and I'm trying to get my hands to my foot. Boom, right? But I don't want to bend my knee here, right? So I want to keep this straight as possible, get my hands all the way down to my foot so I get into this nice forward fold. Right, coming back up. Right, if we feel like this is easy, like I can get to this position on both sides. Right, remember we want to be even. We don't want to be really good on one side and terrible on the other. Right, so once we can do this pretty evenly, I'm going to work my foot down. Right, so thinking about getting closer and closer to just feet on the floor, right, getting my hands flat to the ground. Right, locking my legs out, boom, getting my hands flat to the ground. Right, so I'm almost there. Right, to where I can be able to do this kind of without warming up. Right, I did a couple of reps on the slant board and went boom right into it. Right, so think about that. Like that's the goal, is that I shouldn't have to warm up, no matter what it is. If somebody asks me to do a handstand, I should be able to do a handstand. Not saying that I can do it right now, but just like whatever it is. Right, somebody says, "Hey, squat." Boom. Can I squat? Okay. Right, drop into a lunge. Boom. Right, so I shouldn't have to be like, "Oh man, let me open up my hips a little bit, you know, all right, now I can squat," right? If somebody drops something, boom, I should be able to pick it up, right, or catch it, you know? I don't want to have to be like, all right, let's go, you know? Like, always be ready. So just think about that throughout the day. Right, so these are the Pike progressions, right? Our foot up, leg straight, think about trying to get hands flat to the ground, right? Eventually working our way to the actual ground, feet flat to the floor. Peace.